Hello. Can everybody hear me? Hi, Duck. Hi, Currency. Hi, Bill. How's it going? Oh, hi, brother. Look at me. I got mad audience today. Awesome. Duck, say hi to your uncle. He probably doesn't know which one you are. Oh boy. How's everybody doing? Good. I see Baron is still on and taking forever with his comments. I scheduled for this to be long after Baron, and Baron is just on and on and on with his comments. Can't catch a break. Baron. Thought we were friends. But anyways. So. Yes. Very, very long. So. Yeah. We're going to talk about just how fucked our world is and weird shit that continues to surround Charlie Kirk. So. I mean, does it not seem off that there is so many obvious things that were going on at UVU on September the 10th? I mean, so very weird and obvious. Too many things that I wouldn't even be able to cover today, anyway. It would take like a whole year. Everyone surrounding Charlie that day, from his staff to people there that didn't look like they should be. Like, you know, older folks that didn't belong at a college. To the lack of any kind of investigation, people's behavior. Sure, you can say 2 or 3 people acting strange in a situation like that. This is a little weird. But everybody? We're talking from Mikey McCoy walking away so nonchalantly to Ralph Farnsworth walking away doing a selfie video, Blake Neff speed hauling ass out of there, security never allowing medics to even help with supplies, to even see Charlie, which I think was the goal, is they did not want Charlie to be seen by anybody. Seemed like the sound guy, even, that was odd. Why were those people? So it was Mikey McCoy, the sound guy. Let me think here. There's a couple more that actually, oh, Hunter Kozak covered their ears prior to. Yeah. The sound guy, his odd behavior, the sound being an issue. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I have gone back to just about every campus debate in his history, and there was never no weird, wonky sound issues that was happening. Like, it was so blatantly obvious there that day, in my opinion, allegedly, and I'm not suicidal. Just saying. But if you think about the sound, it going off and doing the weird things that it was doing, Dan Flood having to call Brian Harpole over. Brian Harpole is clearly digging into his pocket and changing something. These are all odd things that they're all on video. And that's just the top. Like, why aren't any of these people in jail or being looked at or investigated or anything? Why is Tyler Robinson sitting in jail? It's deeply disturbing. What else do we got? Sound guy. So yeah, Brian Harpole looking like he had something in his pocket, coinciding with the sound issue. 100% on video. Dan Flood's weird hand signals and arm signal. He literally did the arm signal and then everything popped off as soon as he did it. You can't make this up. Hunter Kozak, vetted and placed to ask the second question. No one seemingly scared or concerned, emotional. Like I said, 2 or 3 people can be explained away, but not every single person there. Butch Hibbs lingering around as if he's trying to get a feel for what is being said to and by everyone. Adam Bartholomew, his whole video of nothing that seemed event oriented, more like a play-by-play of significant spots. The lack of securing the scene. No one felt that there would be more so-called shots. No one seemed traumatized. Nobody. At seeing what we've seen on TV, devastating us. To them, it's just another day in Utah. Nothing, literally nothing seems to come back to Tyler Robinson. I have looked and dug, and it makes no sense to me. I know they probably have pulled down Tyler's social media posts because of the trial, but there's nothing. There is nothing. I think this was just pushed off on him like he was nothing so that these people with money could get away with doing what they did. And like I said, the only thing that they have come out with for Tyler Robinson is the Discord messages, and the Discord messages, we know that is no way in hell that is 2 young boys talking on the messages. That is 100% the FBI. And Baron, again, if you watched his show tonight, shown just how easy they do it. They have no problem manipulating people. No, that's what the FBI claimed. They well, the FBI claimed a lot of shit, but yeah, they claimed that the dad and mom turned him in, but really what happened was conveniently they had a a former retired sheriff that was a neighbor and a friend that scared the parents into believing that it looked like it was Tyler on the pictures. And there you have it. But no, his parents did not willingly. They thought that their house was going to get raided and was scared because that's what the cop told them was it's best to take him in and do it this way so, your house doesn't get raided and bad things might happen. But yeah. So to my knowledge, I see nothing in history of Tyler Robinson saying any kind of hate towards Charlie Kirk whatsoever. None. Not to mention, you factor in all the other suspicious shit that is, happening. Of all the places that if they had to pick one, Utah was definitely the place to do it because they had everybody running a whole ass script there that was able to get her done. And then, let's see. So the Hunter Kozak, then he happens to be the person standing in front of him asking him the question about gun violence when the event or whatever happened popped off. Covering his ears like he had been seen on video just prior to. We all seen that. He is, prior to even getting in line, practicing what he was going to do when the shot went off, and then does the exact same thing when the shot or supposed shot goes off. So everybody was prepped for this. We've seen the videos of Jeb Jacoby prepped for what he was going to say and totally calm, waiting for 3-2 or 1-2-3 and then got to 3 and he was all amped up. Like, none of these people are acting like they just witnessed an assassination, including his own inner circle and orbit around him. So then to find out, oh, this is something that really got me here too. So Hunter Kozak is 30 years old right now. And this is the person that asked the last question. He's the last person to talk to Charlie. He's married. And I say to you that on September 7th, Hunter and his wife, gave birth to their third child on September the 7th. Charlie died on September the 10th. His wife was at UVU with him. Mind you, the baby was in the NICU. So, I find that odd. As a woman having given birth to children, I find that odd. I'm not leaving my child in the NICU to go to some college debate. No way. Mind you, he didn't like Charlie. He had already been to events. So I ask, why? Why would you leave your brand new baby in the NICU? And you had to have gotten a babysitter for the other two. That just seems like a lot. And then I watched the video of an interview of Hunter by one of his really good friends, and his name is Josiah something, but I'm going to show it. And this guy is good friends with him and his wife, where you can pick up a few key things in this video. He gives his zero emotion, zero, just matter of fact. Yeah. This was all pre-planned, and it's so very obvious. I'm floored by what he says in the interview in so many ways, but particularly by the absolute no contact to him from the police or the FBI. He was the person talking to him when he was, whatever happened. They did not contact him. Hunter Kozak felt the need to go out and get a lawyer. Nobody said boo to him. No contact by the FBI, no contact by the police. We know that they knew who he was because he says in this video, I'm going to show you that the same day, on September 10th, New York Times showed up at his door, knocked on the door. I assure you, if they were able to figure out who he was, the police could. But they didn't seek him out. What? I mean, didn't look at his social media that was just rampant with hate for Charlie Kirk, but, you know, Tyler Robinson, he's it. He had to reach out to them. So he got a lawyer, he reached out to them. FBI seemed so disinterested. They did a 20-minute Zoom call while he was at the hospital. You know, it was imperative for him to be at the hospital with his baby that was in the NICU that day. 20 minutes, and they've never talked to him again or since. I mean, that's fucking weird. Someone known to hate Charlie happens to be up there asking questions, and Tyler Robinson is sitting in jail. Like, it's as if they put Hunter's views onto Tyler and called it a day. It's insane. We have to demand answers, and I would like to say an actual investigation, but they already got rid of the truck and paved over the crime scene. And Phil Lyman, his weird lurking around behavior, like multiple people around him practicing what to say, him looking like he knows what they're going to say, nodding his head in the syllables. Weird, all weird. How would you know unless it was rehearsed? And I'm just going to mention that Phil Lyman happens to own a construction company in it deals with concrete and cement and all that. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. I don't know that he is part of the paving over the crime scene, but he seems to have a lot to do with that area. And his wife is a registered nurse that happened to have ties to Tippinago's hospital where Charlie was took. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Bill, that was a great, great, great pick. So Jesse on Fire literally was willing to give Hunter Kozak $10,000 in cash if he took a lie detector test. And he would not do it. Now, if you're a 30-year-old kid with 3 kids still in college and you had nothing to hide or you weren't guilty of nothing, that's an easy payday. But he wouldn't do it and couldn't do it. I find that weird. Yeah, so his wife is the registered nurse, and I don't know that she currently works at that hospital, but I do know that she has at one time, which is a little bit weird. Along with the stenographer that happens to, he makes all the notes and dictates what the doctors say. All very strange. Jeb, that was with Phil, that rehearsed what to say. Jeb's dad is military and the founder of a massive drone company used by the military. Massive. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out and understand that this was planned out, orchestrated, executed event by many people, and Tyler Robinson was not among them. It's bad enough Charlie's life was took, but now you are trying to hold someone that don't matter to you, like Charlie clearly didn't, accountable. So people involved don't have to be. No, I'm not okay with this, and I'm not gonna be. The question is how and what has to be done now to allow this to not go down this way. Not let an innocent kid not rot in jail for their mafia clique that let him take the hit for. No. That's the Mormon mafia, in my opinion, allegedly. It's a real thing. What has to be done? Who has to be contacted? Truly. It goes so much deeper there than this. About power-hungry rich people that think that they can steal and murder, do whatever they have to do for their sick, twisted personal gain. I think if Americans don't rise up and get their heads out of the sand immediately, this will be much, much more than we ever could have imagined. Because I still stand by Charlie's death is tied into, the little place of size of New Jersey. And I showed the video that Ian shared. I've shared it. Everybody needs to share it as much as possible because it's real, is infiltrating every aspect of our lives. Literally. And me saying this does not make me antiseptic. It doesn't mean I don't like Jewish people. I do ever see a pattern. I know I'm not the only one. And it's time that we stand up and at least attempt to save ourselves because our government isn't going to. Our president isn't going to. I think as far back as I can in my lifetime, and maybe then I couldn't put it together, too young, too oblivious, too trusting of the system, the government, it's real, has been starting problems all over and coming to our country to get involved, shaping what is put out to us in the media, downright creating situations to terrify us for their own selfish gain. 9/11, multiple mass shootings, and always, I mean always, instilling fear in us that it is them damn Muslims, the terrorists. How many people Is the United States responsible for killing in the name of it's real? Pause. We couldn't even begin to put a number on that. How many of our American soldiers have been killed? How many American citizens wiped out so it can fit a certain narrative or it's real? This is the reality, and if people don't see this as bad as it will be so much worse. They have almost full control over all major things in the United States. They have no problem saying out loud. They believe everyone is indebted to them. They have infiltrated our churches, our schools, our banks, our social media, our mainstream media, healthcare, and so much more. Ask yourselves, what do they have over our entire government? Left, right, doesn't matter. That allows it's real to come first. We are nothing to our own government that we elected into office. It's just a procedure. We are heading into a one world order, and it's damn sure not to benefit us. How many more innocent Americans have to die? This is controlled chaos, controlled so that we stay in fear, and they control the chaos and wreak the havoc on so many innocent people. And if that's not terrifying to you, then I don't know what would be. So I want to show this interview that I found of Hunter. Well, first, let's look at him faking it before and showing. Let me switch screens. My bad. So nice you're here. Look at him practicing. Not strange. Not strange at all. Everybody does that. Not only does Hunter's father work for Jimmy Kimmel, but the whole damn family are actors or involved in some kind of performance shit. And to my knowledge and everything I've looked up, the amount of Kozaks that are right there in Orem is unreal. And the parents don't even live there. It's the Mormon Mafia, in my opinion, allegedly, and I'm not suicidal. Mean it. Oh, this is where I found. So Hunter Kozak was the last person to speak to Charlie Kirk before the right-wing podcaster was shot and killed. Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, was shot in the neck while speaking to a crowd at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on September 10th. He was rushed to the nearby hospital and was later pronounced dead. He was 31. It is with heavy heart that we, the Turning Point USA leadership team, write to notify you that early this afternoon, Charlie went to his eternal reward with Jesus Christ in heaven. Read a statement from Turning Point released the same evening confirming Kirk's death. Kozak, who runs a political TikTok account, was approved by Kirk's team to ask the political commentator a question at the event and ended up being the second person in line. So it was vetted, just like he said. Kirk was shot soon after Kozak's question about gun violence in the United States, making the young influencer the last person to speak to Kirk before his untimely death. That's what we'll call it, untimely death. So Kozak has just over 40,000 followers on TikTok, where he posts videos about politics, linguistics, weird shit. Kozak and his wife describe themselves as politically liberal. Imagine. According to the New York Times, their living room is decorated with flags and Black Lives Matter, Ukraine, LGBTQ rights, and Star Spangled Banner hanging from among them. Despite their political differences, Kozak acknowledged he and Kirk had something important in common. As much as I disagree with Charlie, I appreciate that he's centered his campaign on freedom of speech, he told Times. The Times also reported that both Kozak and his wife were raised in the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints and met as students at Brigham Young University. They both have since left the faith. Kozak's question was approved by Kirk's staff ahead of the event, he told ABC in an interview published on September the 12th. Kozak told ABC he told a staff member he disagreed with Kirk and had a question prepared. According to the influencer, he was later told he would be the second person in the line to pose a question to Kirk. He said, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?" Kozak asked, to which Kirk replied, "Too many." Found cisgender males have perpetrated 98% of mass shootings in the U.S. A vast majority, the report found 2% of mass shootings were committed in cisgender females, and a few of them, blah, blah, blah. None of that was said. Kozak told Kirk the answer was 5 before asking, "Do you know how many mass shooters have been in America over the last 10 years? Kirk answered, "Counting or not counting gang violence." And then obviously that was the last thing he said. And then here you have it. Kozak and his wife welcomed their, second child together on September the 7th. The pair told New York Times they spent the days before in the hospital NICU, but went to Kirk's event because they believed it was important to hear him document what he said and articulate their own views. More than your baby being in the NICU or you giving birth on the 7th and it being the 10th. It is very odd. Kozak made it very clear in the video he shared on September 11th that he condemns the shooting and is cooperating with authorities. And at this point, he has not even spoke to authorities at all. It's awful, and a father doesn't, and he also will admit to in this video I show that he didn't even know that Charlie had kids. He didn't find out until he left the event and was in his car, and he Googled him. And then here's that magic 33. 33 hours after Kirk was killed, 22-year-old suspect was taken into custody after he reportedly confessed to the shooting, which he did not confess. We know this from the indictment. In fact, Tyler Robinson has not said nothing. Not boo. Their indictment is shit. Kind of like their investigation. Here.
Trump administration has said Epstein killed himself and that there is no Epstein client list.
I love this logic. It's my favorite thing in the world, because what he said is obviously the Trump administration is telling the truth when they're saying that there's no Epstein list, because Joe Biden would have gone around rule of law in order to attack Trump, because he went around the rule of law to indict him. Because the Trump administration also said that there was an Epstein list and that it was on their desk and they were ready to release it. So I have a counter proposal. Maybe Biden doesn't break the rule of law like your buddy does, and maybe Trump is on the Epstein list. Anyway, this is exceptional timing because I am going to go see Charlie Kirk in Tampa, Florida on July 12th. And if you would like tickets to see me challenge Charlie Kirk about this, please buy tickets below. And if you're not in Tampa, Florida, donate to the tour, because I'm partnering with the Unfuck America tour, and we want to challenge Charlie Kirk where he sits. Also, I really hate to do this, but trigger warning, Charlie Kirk's face will appear momentarily.
Trump administration has said Epstein killed himself and that there is no Epstein client list.
I love this logic. It's my favorite thing in the world.
It's crazy to me.
Welcome back to another episode of, wait, is this true? That's not true. Why are you saying that's true? That's not true. So the comment here says, I looked at the website data, the website being the gun violence archive that I used in the previous video. You're conflating two types of shootings: mass shootings dominated by black gang members and mass school shootings dominated by white trans people in their early 20s. The data is clear. Now, Mr. Thug, there are two main issues with this, which is that you did not look at the website data because the website data did not determine these results that you're talking about. One, they make no claims towards ethnicity. Two, there is no claims on ages. And three, there are no claims about motivation. Now, I think that a lot of people think that you can just run statistics on things and then find the information out, but there is no collectivization that I have seen about ethnicity of shooters or ages of shooters. Now, I do want to give Mr. Thug a little bit of credit because the data of mass shootings does constitute gang-affiliated drive-by shootings as a type of mass shootings as long as there are 3 or more victims. Now, the Gun Violence Archive didn't really exactly make that type of distinction, but Mr. Thug offers an option, which is to just control for school shootings. Great, I would love to. Now, there have been just under 400 mass shootings in America over the last 10 years. And of those mass shootings, 2 of them have been trans. Trans people make up about 0.5% of the population.
I don't know if you can see this, but this was on 9/2 of 25.
And of...
And conveniently, all of his videos from this day forward, the incident, are gone until just after.
School shootings, they make up about 0.5% of school shootings. 2 divided by 400, that's a little bit of quick maths for victims. And I think that that's fair, but we have another issue, which is that out of those 5 trans shooters, 3 of them killed 3 or more people. 2 of them did not. So I saw a ton of people clarifying how many trans shooters there are, claiming that there were 5, and I said, okay, given the wide net that you're drawing in order to get these people, I should draw a similarly wide net. Now, obviously, 5 trans shooters is 5 too many trans shooters, but also 5,423 male shooters is 5,423 too many male shooters. And I have yet to this day seen a conservative commentator say, look, if you're not here illegally, you have...
There you go. Happened to the sound of that one. Can you guys hear that? Hello? I didn't mute it. How do I do it?
What had
Not
happened.
muted. Okay.
I mean, so many people have been asking me, why did you say great to a yes or no
Thank you,
question?
daughter.
Well, I was going to say, great, did you perform the statistical analysis without gang shootings? Because essentially I knew he was right, but that he also had the burden of proof. But
Yes,
actually,
this is
none
the
of you
guy that
guys
was
even care
talking to
about
him
this.
when he-
None
when
of
he
you
was
guys
shot.
care about the actual answer. You just want to have your pet little conspiracy theories. But why am I so pressed? Why am I so upset? I mean, they're online. Can't I just turn off my phone?
Because there was no sound, I didn't really get to
How about they investigate the person who asked this question? All of this was planned.
So he's referring to himself.
I mean,
He
it's no
does this a
coincidence
lot.
for sure. Does anyone know who he was debating with at the time of the shooting? That's what I'm saying. I feel like it was a setup. It had to be set up. The person asking was in on it. Yeah, they were definitely in on it. That's too obvious.
Very.
All I'm going to say is the guy that asked about mass shootings was part of it. That was code word to take the shot. And right after Charlie said something about it, it happened. I was almost convinced that the person asking the question did it until I remembered that I was that person. Thank you, every single one of you, for your individual takes, because that's what we need during an ongoing investigation, is everyone's opinions about what had happened. I mean, so many people have been asking me, why did you say great to a yes or no question? Well, I was going to say, great, did you perform the statistical analysis without gang shootings? Because essentially I knew he was right, but that he also had the burden of proof. But actually, none of you guys even care about this. None of you guys care about the actual answer. You just want to have your pet little conspiracy theories. But why am I so pressed? Why am I so upset? I mean, they're online. Can't I just turn off my phone? Oh, I wish I could agree with you. There was a video with 500,000 likes on it on TikTok that said, get this guy. And then a reporter asked my governor why I have not been apprehended yet. And then the guy in front of me in line said, this guy was talking about transgender issues in line. And then he goes up to talk to Charlie, and all of a sudden it's about shootings? That seems awfully suspicious, doesn't it? Actually, Henry, the question was about transgender shootings. So because you couldn't listen, you felt like you had to tell millions of people that I look suspicious. Meanwhile, I was talking to the police like a rational and responsible person instead of going to the media. Because I was giving a statement to the police before most of you guys even knew that it had happened. No. And again, where has the actual harm been done? I mean, it still sounds just like comments, but it's a lot of comments now. I don't think you guys understand how easy it is to find people's addresses nowadays. I did not think that my phone number was that readily available. I genuinely did not. But I cannot tell you how many people have knocked on my door over the last 4 days. It has lightened up. No one's knocked on my door today, but the day after.
You would think with all his statistics and his knowledge of all that, he would know how easy it is to find somebody.
Oh my goodness. 30, 40 people knocked on my door. Most of them were journalists, for sure. Not all of them. You need to get arrested at FBI. Thank you for tagging them because you think that they're checking their Twitter mentions. Firstly,
actually, they do.
My first and last name has been on every news publication in the world saying I'm a UVU student. If the FBI wanted to find me, they could. Secondly, I reached out to the FBI because my wife was sitting 30 feet away recording me and had multiple, like 20 videos of B-roll that we all sent to the police. And I got interviewed by them. If I was a suspect, Kash Patel himself would come knocking on my door and not some deranged lunatic who's been spending too much time online. Also, to all the people who are saying that I must have been in on it because I don't look shocked enough, I am sorry that I don't meet the threshold of being the target of a national manhunt and also watching a person murdered in front of me while I was having a conversation with them. Sorry that my emotions are not perfectly encapsulating that event. And I know I'm not the only one.
That would infer that you showed any kind of emotion at all, which he didn't. And he's only on here because he's being attacked online. And let's see, this was the 14th September. So remember that when I show you the video that I show you when he does his interview, where he's on here saying that he has cooperated with the police. And he's literally just trying to convince everybody, well, the Cash Patel wouldn't be posting. Really? Because, like, everybody in this country doesn't know just how fucking dumb Cash Patel is and how much Cash Patel posts on fucking Twitter.
This is not a video for my followers. This is a video for all of the psycho online detectives who are still a month later coming into my account. I have learned something about conspiracy theorists, which is that you cannot extinguish the flames. There are 30 some odd connections as to how you guys think I'm involved. It's awesome. It's great. I'm done answering them. I'm just going to block you guys. This is the last response that I'm going to make. I just want to show you some of them. One of them is that my video was 3 minutes and 33 seconds long, which can only mean one thing. This person's schizophrenic. I love this one where they found music that I made 10 years ago when I was like 18 years old. Some of the titles of the song were I'm Sorry, which was about an ex of mine. If Looks Could Kill, which that was about anorexia. And the 10th of December. Holy
It's kind of amazing to me that somebody married him, let alone having an ex.
shit. Wait, that was named after a George Saunders short story? Well, he must be in on it too. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you live a pretty public life and make a lot of things, you can draw coincidences and connections to anything. I've got like 40 something cousins, and then you guys find my Facebook page and start harassing my relatives, and you'll find some, I guess, coincidences. Holy shit, he was in a community theater play 7 years ago. That must mean he's a crisis actor. I don't even understand the fucking conspiracy theory because
the dipshit over there
no one could even hear what I was saying. The speakers were shit. Like, he's got a clear shot and he's waiting for me to say the right thing when he's 300 yards away and I'm in on it and I'm not worried about a bullet whizzing past my ear.
So the speakers were shit and you were the second speaker.
Ear like 1 foot away, like a fucking like a burst of wind all of a sudden could have shot, the bullet could have hit me. But no, that's the fucking guy. I'm in on it. Some people pointed out that I knew Destiny, the streamer. And by knew, they mean I was on his stream like 2 or 3 times forever ago, disagreeing with his rhetoric. So that means that I don't even understand what the implication is. He fucking wasn't there either. He just doesn't like Charlie. And all the people saying, gotcha. The person, don't you think it's a coincidence that the person who dislikes Charlie and was part of an organization that wanted to counter Charlie's rhetoric went to Charlie's organization to counter his rhetoric? That's actually not a coincidence at all. That's exactly what you would expect. And then the latest thing, which is I do this bit where if someone says something really uninteresting, but says it like it's interesting, I act shocked and surprised to them. I'm like, whoa, you're telling me this for the first time? In line, the person behind me said something really stupid, and I looked over to the person in front of me and was like, well, look at this fucking idiot. Whoa. And suddenly that's
why
me.
He said he made that face, by the way. That he did the exact expression of Charlie getting shot because somebody in line said something dumb behind him. So I guess that you give the same face when someone says something dumb that you give when you see somebody assassinated right before your eyes. And then I also would like to know, where's all the video from his wife that was directly behind him videotaping? Bet we never see that.
Trump administration has said Epstein killed himself and that there is no Epstein.
It kind of irritates me that he's poking fun at him about Epstein because Charlie Kirk was all about releasing the Epstein files. But this one really bothers me. because
Look, if
this
you're
is him
not here
having a whole ass
illegally, you have nothing to
conversation
worry about. I mean, name one.
with himself, and if you notice the hat that he's wearing. So we're just gonna go with he's pretending to be Charlie, and then his camera pans to him without his hat and his alter personality, I guess.
Person who was here legally and was wrongfully detained. A man named Mubashir in Minnesota. He was arrested for looking Somali and put in a headlock even though he had his passport on him. Okay, name two. Leo Garcia Venegas. He was arrested at 2 different construction sites twice. He was told his ID card was fake. Okay, name 3. Jose Hermosillo. Okay, name 4. Abel Orozco Ortega. He was arrested even though he had a driver's license on him. Okay, name 5. There was a pregnant mother who didn't want to give her name, but she has 3 kids, all under the age of 8, who are all U.S. citizens. Okay, name 8. George Redes. He was detained for 3 days, even though he had his ID in his car, but agents wouldn't let him get it. Okay, name 9. Job Garcia and Carrie Lopez Alvarado. Both of them are U.S. citizens. Okay, name 11. Mohsen Madawi, Mahmoud
He broke character. He had the hat on.
Khalil, Casper Jewel Erickson, Yari Rodriguez Marquez. Okay, name 14. Sochi Santiago, Javier Santana, Paulo Lira, Carlos Leon. Okay, name 18. ProPublica did a report.
It's mind-blowing to me that this guy is so popular on TikTok and wherever else on dumb shit like this.
Did you see the court case lately about Trump? Do you mean the one where the jurors agreed that Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll? No, not that one. The one where they found him liable for defaming Carroll over the allegations? Not that one.
If you're here on TikTok regularly, it's very likely that you jumped ship from Twitter years ago when a certain Nazi billionaire started owning the platform. I mean, the only reason why I'm still on Twitter is largely explained by this Office Space meme, why should I change, he's the one who sucks. But I want to catch you up on shit that you have missed out on. So Elon has created this AI agent called Grok, which essentially responds to people's tweets. You can ask it questions by adding it, and it will respond.
Grok has a big issue, though, which is that it responds fast.
Have you seen the latest video of Zohran Mamdani eating rice with his hands?
All right, Charlie, our biggest city in America is probably going to have a self-proclaimed democratic socialist as mayor. One of his biggest policies is rent freezing. What's our angle? Oh, okay. Rent freezing. Tell me more. So opponents would say that this would essentially disincentivize developers from developing onto New York, which would shrink the already dwindling housing supply. Okay, I think I can memorize that, for sure. But proponents would argue that landlords take in some of the highest profits in the city as a percentage, so it probably wouldn't disincentivize developers that much. Okay, whew. That's a lot of words. Yep, but that's Mamdani. Wait, sorry, did you say Mamdani? Is this guy brown? Yes, Charlie. He's a South Asian Muslim. Okay, can you lead with that next time? Because that's so weight off my back. Okay, so just some more racist bullshit? Well, yes, some more racist bullshit. Hi, did you like that skit? I know I did. Do you hate Charlie Kirk? I know I do. Charlie Kirk is currently poisoning the mind of every young American who can stand to look at his stupid face. And we're trying to do something about that. Charlie has something called the Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida on July 11th. What a coincidence! That's where I'm gonna be. This is me, and a whole bunch of other creators on this page are gonna try to unfuck the damage that Charlie Kirk has irreparably done to the country. If you want tickets, link here. But Hunter, I'm not gonna be in Tampa, Florida.
Odd. Totally odd. And this is him infiltrating the...
So Charlie Kirk, bastion of free speech and the marketplace of ideas, cut off my ticket. So, what I'm going to be doing is infiltrating as a Trump supporter. So, I just acted confused and said, I don't know what happened with my ticket, but I'd like to buy another one, and got right in.
Well, not the big beautiful bill, but they also defund Planned Parenthood. There you go. That's what I meant. There you go.
Gotcha. What else do you like about the one big?
So I bring this up to say, who seems to be obsessive about Charlie Kirk? He went all the way to Florida. He lives in Utah. He was banned from being in there and found a way to get in anyways. Show me where any of this is happening with Tyler Robinson. Any of it. Any of it.
Folks, as all of you are aware, one of the biggest political events of the last year, if not the past decade, was the brutal assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10th.
So this is the interview. And I would like to point out, I put it in a little bit of a faster speed so it's not redundant, but yeah, this is where you will find that really he didn't talk to the police until he actually was like, yo, I was the last one to talk to my man. And then you will hear the other crazy shit. I mean, there was no investigation.
10th at Utah Valley University during a public speaking engagement. And I mentioned in my initial coverage that hit close to home for a variety of reasons, because even though I disagreed with basically everything that Charlie Kirk stood for, as a content creator and as somebody who is in political commentary, I recognize that this put all of us in danger. But the other thing that I mentioned at the time, and many of you commented about who followed the event, the tragedy from start to finish, noted that a good friend of mine was in attendance when Kirk was assassinated. He was actually the last person that Charlie Kirk ever spoke to, ever debated, and that's my friend Staxium's, Hunter Kozak, who is actually joining me here. We were going to try to do this a couple of weeks ago, but he has a lot going on. I'm sure he's going to let us know how he has been since the event itself. Here he is on screen. Hunter, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
Doing
for your audience who
great.
doesn't know, me and Josiah go way back. We used to do TikTok debates back when he was a TikTok debater. That was like his first thing before he did YouTube. And I used to joke around that I had way more followers than him. And
You do.
now he's wildly overshot me.
Not on TikTok though, and that's really what counts, right? I mean, like that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
You know, sure, I have a few on YouTube, but you still blow me way out of the water on TikTok. So I mean, that's you have the advantage. I mean, like this
Yeah,
is
They sound gay.
the thing.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he always low broed me. I think you Gen Zers would say that. Like he just low broed me all the time. He was like, "Oh, what's it like having less than 35,000 TikTok followers? Where are you at now? Because I'm not on TikTok. Did you know?
I don't know. 60 or I don't know.
You have 60 followers?
Yeah, 60 followers. I have 60. How many do you have? A few million?
No,
now?
I really don't. So like, I haven't been on TikTok. Like when I cut TikTok out to do YouTube full time, I didn't just mean as a content creator. I mean as a viewer as well. Like I just, it's still on my phone, but like I can't tell you the last time I actually pulled up the app. So
Yeah. Well, if you want to look up videos on linguistics or language or philosophy or politics or math, those are sort of the things that I talk about on TikTok. So you should follow me there, I guess.
I thought you were doing politics and not like cures for insomnia. Like, wait, what's this? Like
Cures for insomnia?
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a dual degree at UVU right now. I'm basically done with my philosophy degree, which is analytic philosophy. So it's a lot of conversations of logic and like philosophy of language and things like that. And I'm also getting my math degree. So I mean, a lot
You're
of my
real hip with
videos
the
are
ladies then, huh?
I'm just saying that must be a hella waste of money because he is not very good at logic.
I would say that I'm going to be making a bunch of money, but I'm going into like teaching math in high school. So like probably not.
I'm
But
curious.
yeah, no,
Like
I usually put a political spin on it. Like I
on
usually,
math?
like
you're politicizing
yes.
math?
Yes.
Holy shit! The
So-
communists and the socialists, here they are with their socialist math. They're changing the math. How do you politicize math?
Well, the question that I was going to ask Charlie was about the question I was going to ask Charlie about was basically he was saying that trans people are overrepresented in terms of mass shootings, and my point is that they clearly are not. And I did a little bit of a statistical analysis. I made a video about it.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this like the logical and sequential way. And see, and folks, again, for those of you who are not familiar, because this again goes way back, this is how it is between Hunter and I all the time, where we constantly just like talk shit and roast each other and interrupt each other and all that stuff. So we're gonna try to keep it
Act gay.
cogent and
Professional.
treat it with the solemnity it deserves. So let's start with this.
Yeah.
September's 10th. Okay. I didn't know you were going to be at UVU. I knew that you were part of the Unfuck America tour, which was following Charlie Kirk. So again, knowing that we're not going to be talking about this for 3 hours, do you want to briefly recap what you were doing at UVU that day, other than being a student?
Well, yeah. So I am a student at UVU, but I also believe a lot in debate and conversations. And specifically, the DOJ recently just came out with a piece of it. I forget exactly what they put out, but it was essentially saying that they wanted to start stripping gun rights away from trans Americans because they were overrepresented in terms of mass shootings. So I asked Charlie about that.
So but you were part of the Unfuck America tour, right? Like you guys, is this the first time that you had engaged with Charlie?
Not directly. I went to one of his events in Tampa. We he had a big SAS event. It was the Student Action Summit. There was a ton of people there, ton of different content creators. Tucker Carlson, Russell Brand,
The comedian?
Yeah,
Comedian. Not that funny these days. Yeah.
Exactly, just a bunch of big conservative names. And I went there and I basically just I did a little bit of I put on a Trump hat and I asked a bunch of the followers questions.
You brought it from home?
Yeah, I picked it up from the event. They were just they just had a ton of them, but yeah, now it's at home, so now I just bring it around everywhere.
Yeah, do you ever try? Well, I mean, again, I gotta say this. This is something I've roasted Hunter about for years. When Hunter and I first met and we became friends, he revealed to me, and I busted his balls about it ever since, that he was a Jill Stein voter in 2016. So he has contributed.
Something I want to clarify every time. I regret that action, and also I was not in a swing state. I was in Utah. I voted in Utah. So like, get over it a little bit. Like not that it's the best.
No, you not get over. What are you talking about? I mean, like, there's so many things to indict your character for, and that's like number 2 on the list. I mean,
I regret voting for Hillary Clinton. I would vote for Hillary Clinton today if I could.
A little too late now, buddy, but thank you. Appreciate it.
I understand.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
And I voted for Kamala.
That's good. You're on the path to redemption. You're on the path to redemption. Okay, but get back to it. So. Okay. So you, as part of the Unfuck America tour, which is this group that basically would engage and try to debate Kirk and Kirk supporters throughout his various tours, this was your first chance to actually speak to the man himself.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, at the beginning of the event, a lot of his rhetoric is, "Hey, I think he said this verbatim. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer." And I think that very often it was just a bunch of college students who were doing who took a poli-sci class one time and wanted to go talk to Charlie about it. And he made them look like idiots, mostly because they were a little bit of idiots. And I wanted to challenge him on it. I think that he cared about debate and I care about debate. And that's one of the very, very, very few things that we have in common.
So when he was asking for the best libs that Utah has to offer, were they like running short that day? How did you get drafted? How did you get brought up to the microphone?
Well, I was pretty far back in line. I was like 10th or 15th in line. Like some people had been camping out since like, I want to say like 7 a.m. or something like that. But they were asking down the line, like, what questions do you want to ask Charlie? And they're like, how does it feel to be the coolest conservative of all time? And then like, it's like, oh, what do you want? Kobe or LeBron? Like, what do you think is better? And then they got to me and I'm like, I want to talk about, I don't know if I care. You don't know.
You don't have room right now for basketball anyway. Even though you are freakishly tall and you could play basketball. Did you?
Everyone says that. I'm 6'3", but I just like, I don't know how to dribble or anything else. So it's, that's one of the big prerequisites of playing basketball. I think it's not just
dribbling. My understanding is this: dribbling is like an essential core of like talent.
I think so.
It's a core
Don't
discipline.
quote me on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know much about basketball, but
so then you told them you had the question about.
I started. Yeah, and I also was expecting Charlie to ask, what is a woman? Because he always pivots conversations about transgender issues to that question, which I feel like I had a good answer to and I had a good response to, and I wanted to challenge him on his bullishness, I guess I want to say.
That reminds me, and again, is it kind of a sidebar but relevant to your content? Because Hunter is on TikTok still, right? You're still putting on TikTok stuff. I've tried to get you on YouTube for years. You've dug your heels in. You have a really good video essay on your channel called "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" or "Hot dog is a sandwich?" Right?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? So it's posed in the form of a question, and it kind of addresses some of that. Well, like, didn't you create that about the time that the whole "What is a woman?" question was?
Yeah, This was I want to say like 2-3 years ago that I made this. We should put a link to the video. It's a good video. I agree.
For your benefit, I will.
And I also make fun of Josiah in it because there's a little aside where I make fun of Josiah's names because that's an ongoing bit that we have. He used to go by Rubenate
all the time, and this is the problem between us. Yeah. You and I could keep yapping about this for 2 hours. But anyway, you have a really good video essay which addresses much of this. So it's interesting how 3 years later, you're still able, I don't want to say to double dip, but you're still drawing on a lot of the things that were created in that video in this debate with Charlie.
Yeah, and I'm currently writing my capstone on philosophy of language of categories because I find that very interesting, and I make videos very constantly about that. So
Did
this
he
question,
ever
what
end
is
up
a woman?
asking? Did he ever end up asking what a woman
No,
is?
we didn't get to it.
Okay.
No, we were only a minute into our conversation. I want to say
So
we weren't very long.
so
A minute? No.
they previewed. You had to preview your question with like his people in the line,
Yeah, Turning Point staff.
and then they put you up in the front, or
Yeah,
what'd they do?
they were like at one point one of the girls was like, "Oh, you're perfect," and then like pushed me to second. So I was second in line.
Okay, so then you step up to the microphone, and again, I don't know. Obviously, which again we'll get to. So much of the footage of the shooting itself, the actual shot, was dispersed all over the internet. Incredibly traumatic, incredibly ugly, incredibly visceral. I don't know how much footage has been released of you starting to talk to him.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
basically
true.
the preceding 60 seconds. So walk me through it. You step up to the mic.
Yeah, I've
What
got
happened?
that. I've actually got that video because I mean, my wife was standing 20, 30 feet away recording me for a TikTok video.
Does he seem giddy? If I was the one that was asking him the last one to speak to him and that happened in front of me, I couldn't be on here. Not even I want to say this was 2 months after. I would still be I'm still traumatized by it, and I wasn't even there.
I was going to put out later about the conversation. But yeah, I basically talked about the DOJ decision, and I said, "Do you stand by this?" And he said, "Yes, like I absolutely stand by that." And I said, "Do you know how many trans shooters there have been?" He said, "Too many." And I said, "Okay, well, there have been about 4 or 5. Do you know how many shootings in America there have been over the last 10 years?" And then he said, "Counting or not counting gang violence," and then got shot.
So I'm curious. I remember that day so well because I was actually not able to do any sort of content initially because I was getting the studio here soundproofed. And so I was downstairs while the guy was, hanging all this shit meticulously. And my phone goes off, like a bunch of text messages. I remember Hutch was like, fuck. And so I pulled up Twitter and pictures were everywhere. And, Charlie Kirk was shot. Charlie Kirk was shot. And I clicked on what I thought was a picture. It was one of the close-up videos. Awful. It's dramatic. And I can't remember. I think you, because we not only have a text thread, but we're in a group thread with some other people, and you texted or said something, and I was actually trying to pay the contractor at the time while also keeping track of the news, so I kept getting texts from you that I was swiping up.
Yeah,
I'm like, Hunter, shut the fuck up.
Just to be, and also just to be clear to the audience, the news I think took a little bit to catch on. So this was like hours after it actually happened. Like I wasn't just like, let me text Josiah first thing.
I like to think that in an emergency, that would be your first instinct, right? You know what? But we'll get to what because I know I'm curious, and I know everyone else is going to be curious, like what happened in the moment. But just from the outsider's perspective, when I finally went back and looked at the text, as soon as I got done paying the contractor, I saw it, and I think I even said something like, "Wait, Hunter, are you there?" And you were like, "I'm the guy he was talking to." And I remember dropping the phone because it was stunning. Like, and because of course I had no idea. Obviously, I know you live in Utah, so that but it just never occurred to me.
Right.
Walk me through what happened to the extent that you even remember. Do you even remember it?
Yeah, no, very, 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 very viscerally. I mean, it's not just that it was a very harrowing experience, but it's also that I revisit it so often over the last month and a half that like I do think that I've got like I know pretty much every detail. But yeah, what are you interested in knowing?
Well, I mean,
Like
was
it was
there
a screenplay?
Because I think in the video, you put your hand to your face and whatever. I mean, was it shock? Was it pure terror? I mean, I've never been in a situation like that, and hopefully I never will be. You mentioned that your wife, good friend of mine as well, in attendance with you.
Right.
What the hell went through your mind?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing was it was kind of interesting because a friend of mine was talking
listen
about
to what he
people,
says here. So there's no way that he would have known any of this. He's not all knowing, and quite the opposite of what he says. I don't care. He doesn't have a whole lot of objective reasoning skills unless you were part of the plan. Nobody would have known whether there was another shot coming or any of it. Listen how sus this is.
who just go to UVU because I go to the school. It's not just like I was visiting there. It's a very different experience from the people in the school and my experience, because mine was, this is a political assassination. And as dark as this might sound, like I don't know if I ever really felt like I was in danger, because I was like, okay, well, if there's a shooter who's trying to kill conservatives, I'm maybe the safest person on campus. But it was still compounded with also the harrowing thing that I just saw in front of me. So I dropped to the ground. There was a whole bunch of people in line next to me that I've been talking to for like an hour and a half at this point. So we all drop to the ground. We look at each other. We all make sure we're okay. The guy behind me was very kind and like walked with me, made sure I was okay. I made sure he was okay. He still got my hat, by the way. They were passing out MAGA hats, and I grabbed onto one, but I didn't want to wear it
Who does
to
this?
the question.
You're in the middle of talking about this guy getting assassinated, and you're concerned with the fact that the guy behind you still has your hat, that you have not gotten it back to this day. A hat that you don't even support. It's sick. And you can... This was all an act. It was a screenplay for all of these people. And I'm not, by no means am I saying this dipshit is the one that took Charlie Kirk out. But he, I believe, 100% was part of the plan. In my opinion, allegedly, and I am not suicidal.
So I had him hold on to it, and then the shooting happened. So I never got that back. So I need I need that MAGA hat back. But the yeah, we dispersed. And then the problem was my wife was recording the conversation, but she was using my phone because my phone's better. I bought like a better phone for like recording content and things like that. But I put it on do not.
So you gave your wife
Damn
the hand-me-down
autocorrect.
phone. Jesus, man.
No, she gave me. Yeah, no. I got the nice phone. She kept the hand-me-down phone.
I see.
And I go,
I'm gonna
okay,
have
for
to-
right now you can use it.
I'm gonna have
But
to
only
talk
right now.
with
You
her.
better get it
God,
back.
you're such a misogynist, man. You're so terrible. No,
So-
I'm sorry. Go.
so
And again,
I put it
I
on-
should say to everybody too, this is one of the things that he and I bond over is we have a very wide sense of humor. It's a coping mechanism for us both, so we'll crack jokes and stuff like that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I put it on Do Not Disturb because I didn't want like a phone call to go through while I was recording it. And then as soon as it happened, I kept calling her like 5 or 6 times and she didn't pick up, and it was pretty upsetting. And I remember at one point I was looking for it and I went back to like near the crime scene, and then like a police officer was standing there. I'm like, I don't know where my wife is. And he goes, "This isn't about you, buddy." And I'm
Wait, there was a crime scene? Who would have thought?
like, you know what? Fair. Like, fair enough. Actually, that's so I walked back and we eventually reconnected, but it took like 20 minutes or so to like find ourselves in the crowd.
It's fascinating to me that you had the discernment of mind in the moment to recognize that it wasn't like a mass shooting. It was precise. It was targeted. You know, that you were almost able to do the math, pun intended. Like, okay, even though I'm standing here in front of him, he was clearly the target. I'm presumably not. It's not like it was indiscriminate. But when you couldn't find your wife, like, I mean, what were you just terrified the whole time? Or you're like, no, like I'm shocked, but like I'm not in danger, and neither is she.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I've been talking a lot.
Actually, now that you say that, I can't discern which one is his wife because there's so many Kozaks there, and I've looked up on social media, but I can't find her.
UVU gave me quite a bit of free therapy, so shout out to UVU. But I recently talked about this with my therapist. There was this quote that I love that Hank Green talked about. I don't know if you guys know Hank Green, but he's like a YouTuber. And he got cancer maybe about a year or two ago. And he talked about the initial shock of getting that cancer. And the first realization that he had was like, I'm still me. You know, he looked down at himself and he's like, you would think that this would just overtake me and I wouldn't be able to I would be able to not be myself. But yeah, like during that incident, I think I was still cogent enough to know what was happening. And I think I was freaked out to find my wife, but also like I did know in the back of my head, like that's not well, I'll find her. Like she'll be okay and I'll be okay. And this is for sure going to be an incident that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives, but we're going to be okay.
Talk to me a bit about the aftermath of it. I mean, I know everyone's checking in on you.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I called you for like half an hour that day or so. I don't remember how long it was, but yeah, you were one of the people I called that day.
I remember you saying it was the most important phone call you made of the day. I think that was an exact.
Yeah. And then you're like, "Can I do an interview right now?" And I ignored you for 6 weeks.
No, well, that's not fair. I texted you first and said, "Okay, do you want the interview? We can do it here. Do you want to say anything on the record?" You kept saying no comment. Speak to my agent. But no, in all seriousness, because I remember like you know, I kept checking in with the missus on this just to see how you were doing. Like, I know this fucked you up, and I'm curious. Like, talk to me about the aftermath.
Yeah,
How are you ascertaining this fucked him up? Because he looks happy. Doesn't look like he was ever bothered by it. Didn't look like he was bothered by it at the moment. Just like none of Charlie's people around him look like they're bothered by it. It's all just matter of fact. Mikey walking away slowly. Lake Neff Speed busting off out of there. Terrell over there making the stupid selfie video. It's like, this is not reality. This is so sick. Right! He is right up there as happy as Erica. Which, by the way, he has went and done interviews with. Oddly. I don't know about you, but if this person was the last person that was speaking to your spouse when their life ended, assassinated, I don't think I'd want to do a town hall with them.
Spend 6 weeks, like I
Yeah,
can't
the
imagine.
biggest thing by far is the conspiracy theorists. Like they have been incessant, and like there was for sure like the first 2 weeks of dealing with police and dealing with the FBI, and that was very scary to deal with. They were very professional, and I really like. Honestly, as soon as the interviews started happening, I recognized immediately that they didn't treat me like a suspect, like I wasn't Mirandaized or anything. But the I mean, just like I had to get an attorney because I wasn't sure if I was going to be a
Wow.
suspect or something. And my attorney was kind of freaking me out. He's like, "Here's all the possibilities. Like, here's what we got to worry about. I'm gonna make an interview with the FBI to make sure that we were able to put forward." That was scary.
Well, I
But
didn't
I
know. Are
think-
you like, are you conducting this interview from Guantanamo right now, or are you in a cell somewhere?
No, no one reached out to me. I talked to campus police maybe half an hour after it happened. They took some notes. I'm like, I was that person. Here's my information. Ask me anything that you need. And they're like, we'll get back to you. And then we sent, Shelby sent my wife, sent sent campus police all the videos. And then I was like, I think I need to talk to the FBI because the governor got asked a question maybe the next day saying, and one of the interviewers was like, what about that guy who was asking the question? Has he been apprehended yet? And the governor was like, we don't know who that is. And I'm like, I'll tell you, it was me.
So all the news reporters were able to find him on the same day, but not the police or the FBI. They just wasn't interested. He had to reach out to all of them.
I will tell you right away. So I was like, I got to find an attorney. I got to go to the FBI. Apparently that information got lost. I don't know what happened to it, but like I already talked to people, but I guess I need to talk to more people. So my attorney reached out to the FBI, and then we did like a 20-minute interview, and it was a lot. Like they didn't pull me. It was just like a video conference, but that was all happening while my daughter was in the NICU. So like I literally was in the hospital asking questions, and then my attorney's like, the FBI, we're like setting up an appointment right now. It's happening in like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck, dude. And I did it in the parking lot of the hospital. Very stressful time. Very stressful time.
Yeah, I mean, man, you had a lot going on, period, at that time. There's no doubt about it. And then obviously
That was the extent of his interaction with the police. A 20-minute Zoom call from the FBI. They never seen him in person. They never questioned him. And he has all of this social media that, do you hate Charlie Kirk? Because I know I do. Followed him to Florida, got kicked out of an event, snuck back into the event. I mean, but Tyler Robinson is sitting in jail. That has absolutely nothing other than some fake-ass Discord messages that these people, the FBI, created.
this happens. Did you hear from or speak to, like, people are going to wonder, like, Kash Patel, given how close he was with the FBI director, he was close with Charlie Kirk, Governor Cox, nothing like that. It was treated pretty professionally at the lower level.
Yeah, the FBI essentially wanted to know where I was located right before the incident and then right after. But they already had access to all the cameras at the school, so they could verify all my answers. But yeah.
You said the conspiracy theories afterwards, because obviously you're a liberal,
Those have
you're
been a
debating
lot.
Charlie Kirk, you're asking a question about gun violence. There have been threats?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it's hard to take there's kind of two parts of it. The first is just like people in my comment section saying, I know you did it. I'm going to turn you into the FBI or whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I've already been talking to the FBI. I've been cooperating with them more than you have. So like, that means nothing to me. But the second part is like, I don't know how, honestly, they even found my house, but like, I mean, reporters found my house initially. Like the New York Times went,
Jesus, okay.
no, but
That's
like
still
kind
bad.
of. No. But like the New York Times knocked on my door like 2 hours after the incident occurred. No, maybe not that quick. Very quick. That day for sure. And I was freaked out that they like had my address and like knew my name, and like that was just like available information that I don't know how they found.
It's because I
And there
texted
was
them.
yeah, exactly.
I have your address.
But they were
you
like,
fucking moron.
I would like. I mean, I got approached like there were like 20 knocks on my door from reporters, and like one time there was a weird. I don't know. I don't want to say he was like there to like find out what was going on, but like he really didn't act like a reporter. And like I was like, "Who are like? What are you doing here?" And I kind of like scared him off, and I was like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?" Anyway, so that really freaked me out. Like that, I'm just like not one to be paranoid or anxious, and that for the next week, I was like, let's barricade the doors. We gotta like, I don't know, really freaked
You've
me
actually
out.
not left the house in 6
Yeah,
weeks.
exactly.
You don't know what
Yeah.
the outside is like.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I can't imagine. I'm curious. You know, you're still putting out content. You know, you're raising kids. You're married. You have a multifaceted life with all sorts of like competing
Mhm.
demands. In terms of your political advocacy, your political commentary, your political content, was there ever a moment where you're like, "Fuck this, I'm out. I'm just gonna go."
Okay, so we don't want to hear any more about his pathetic life.
Hi there. Erica, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your calls for peace and unity. And I'm likewise horrified by the people in my so-called
That is two of the fakest fucking people I've ever seen in my life.
camp who were cheering about Charlie's murder. I believe that they stoke the flames of violence. But even worse is when powerful, influential people on either side of the aisle stoke the flames. When they do it, the flames can become an inferno. And this leads me to Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth, who has more responsibility than anyone else to put the flames out. Just last month,
Look at
President
mine.
Trump called on 6 Democratic lawmakers to be tried for sedition, which he clarified was punishable by death. He then reposted a simple message: hang them. I think that you've been making strides to bring peace to our country, and that turning point has been asking Democrats to decry the individuals who cheer for violence. I have and will continue to decry them. But any good faith effort to stop political violence must hold both parties to the same standard and expectation. So in that spirit, will you condemn the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth?
What say you, Erica?
I appreciate your question. You know my heart. Why would I ever say, yes, go murder people? This is so much deeper than just one. I understand your sentiment. I do. But this is also so much deeper than just one person. This starts at the home, okay? This starts with family. This starts with a seed that grows and grows. You can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself. No,
She doesn't even answer. She never even answers it. She never answers it. Just she's in her typical Erica fashion. She circle talks.
I will never agree with political violence. My husband is a victim of it. I'm a victim of it. But what I'm trying to say here is that we can blame everyone else. We have to look in the mirror. When you become a father, when you become a mother, how are you raising your kids? Are you taking responsibility, or are you giving them a device and saying, go down that rabbit hole? I'm trying to go to Pilates class. You can just sit in the corner and look at your iPad or look at your phone and go down that rabbit hole and see what you can learn from that instead of being a parent. So my call to action from that is, parents, step up. Do you want your kid to be a thought leader or an assassin? That's where we're at.
Do you think our political leaders have a responsibility to turn the temperature down right now?
Well, I think everyone has a responsibility to do that, and I'm doing my part. I'm not in control of other people.
You know it. Stacey controls everything. She even went from the tissue to that's not working, Erica. We're gonna go with no tissue. Yeah, totally running that bitch. Totally, in my opinion. Funny shit, yeah. Have you noticed that Stacey Sheridan is literally the only person, well, besides Dan Flood, Rick Cutler, Stacey Sheridan is the only one that has not said nothing. She has not locked herself into an interview other than at his memorial. Which I even that speech, I felt like she found a way to demean Charlie in a way, like he's my boss, but not really kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, all the LLCs that we built up, me and Tyler and everybody, and we've been funneling all this money into our accounts, and he had the audacity to ask for a fucking Doge audit. Shit. No, can't have that. And then what about our best friend, Tracy? Jesus, I don't know if you guys get on X, but you know that she's getting scared or concerned with Candace and Barron and everybody coming out when she starts rounding up the people, and now Tracy has made yet another statement, which is nothing but lies, because I just seen her recent video on X and she's claiming that they've never had a house in, well, she said Tucson. They didn't live in Arizona. They 100% live in Arizona. Fact. Her husband does do construction. And let me tell you, all these people have speeding tickets. I don't know what the deal is. They are some fast driving mother truckers, but every single one of them have speeding tickets on their records. And I don't know if I mentioned this the other day when I did the show about Jeb Jacoby and who his daddy was and all that, but Jeb's actually got a charge for, I want to say it was assault, or it was maybe, it was something along them lines, but it had to do with communication. So threatening behavior with communications or whatever. Oh yeah, for sure. I think she's trying to be president, which is terrifying in itself. Nobody can deny that this is quite the circus. Charlie went from, and then minimizing everything. Oh, it was one text message. He texted one person saying that he thought he was going to be killed. No. Stop trying to flip people's words. We all know the truth. We know that he texted multiple people. We know he texted his head of security the day before and said, I feel like I'm going to be killed. They are going to kill me. Who's they? And now we have Bill Ackman that has not said shit all over X now. So it makes me wonder, we have to be getting super close, because the people that are typically not saying shit are even coming out to say shit now. And Bill Ackman on there. Bill Ackman, he's threatening Tucker Carlson outright. And I'm confrontational. I am. So anytime I see them on X saying anything about Candace or Ian or Barron, I am all over them. All over them. It's obnoxious. It is clear what they are doing. It is almost predictable. You can count on it. Tomorrow's Monday. Candace will be on. X is going to be going nuts with a campaign smearing Candace. Gary from Paramount is the biggest disappointment ever. Hired that chick to do a counter investigation on Candace. All they're doing is just trying to distract from, yes, it's so big. Yeah, and I noticed that Erica's been quite quiet recently. Well, herself. She, puts her people out there to say dumb shit, but I mean, everything about her is a lie. Everything she says is a lie. She is a lying liar that lies. That's what she is. She can't tell the truth for nothing. And it's like, hey, dummy, you're on video saying this, And then everybody's like, well, I don't see what the big deal is, If she had a boyfriend prior to Charlie, well, the big deal is that she made a big deal about that she did not date for 5 years and had no boyfriend and acted like she was this holier than, she can't never say thou person. And she wasn't. So it's a big deal because she went out of her way to make stuff up and lie about it. And she's not good at it. She's gotten caught in everything. She removed her Miss Arizona YouTube videos that were always posted up there. She's all about, she's okay with pornography. She's okay with weed. And then you can go right back and you can just type in Google any video from Charlie saying he's against it. He's against it. I mean, she was put there for a role. And apparently she was done with her role. And I think it's because Charlie was definitely, he was feeling the pressure, and he wasn't gonna, he said it, he wasn't gonna be bullied, and he wasn't gonna take the money. He didn't want Bibi Netanyahu taking him to the next level. And that sealed his fate, in my opinion. Because it had to be Utah. And the reason it had to be Utah, it's very obvious because there is a whole shit show. That's why everything looks so weird there. It didn't look like a normal campus event. It's because it wasn't. All their peeps and military people and shady people are all there. Yeah. She should have never. I don't know who told her she should go on and say anything, but that was the dumbest thing they could have done. She would have been so much better off. Because if you think about it in the beginning, how many of us were like, gosh, nobody really wanted to throw that out there or even think it was possible. She put herself in this situation, and then they're trying to reverse mindfuck us into believing that we're attacking her and she's the grieving widow. Well, she never grieved. She never grieved. I'm sorry. She didn't. She just didn't. And the audios and her getting a hold of the people at TPUSA and giggling, and my husband is dead. I mean, nobody acts like this in real life. I'm sorry, they just don't. Even if you don't even have the best of marriage. I mean, I personally, I have an ex-husband, and I wish no ill will on him, and I would be devastated if something happened to him. Because, that's what normal people do. Not these people. They are all about that power and money. And they're totally turning TPUSA into the exact opposite. The exact opposite of what Charlie was going for. It's all about, it's real. It's all about money. I mean, they took the money. That's what they did. They took the money. And now they're out here running a rabbit race trying to live up to the money they chose to take. And Stacey Sheridan, in my opinion, allegedly is a snake. She's definitely a snake. And Charlie knew it. Charlie did not like her. Good for me. What do you disagree about? You're going to say your ex, aren't you? But then I guess, the next logical question is we all know that this did not happen the way that they said that it happened. And everybody tries to manipulate you into saying or thinking, there's no way there could be that many people involved and somebody doesn't slip up. Well, I mean, they clearly have. We've seen it. We've ascertained all of this all on our own. Us conspiracy theorists that they all call us. We've done way more investigating than the FBI did. And let's not forget that even the sheriff there, Sheriff Smith, he's on A&E. He's an actor. Rick Cutler, Rick Cutler did SWAT on A&E. You can't make this shit up. It's like they made a whole production. Somebody wrote out this whole play-by-play, and they thought they were going to get away with it. And, well, I guess when you're in bed with the government, you can. But I'm not. I mean, I am not shutting up. I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to. We have shown every single way. The only thing they have on Tyler Robinson is the messages they made up themselves. And if he gets found guilty, it is because somebody on his defense team is not for him. Or the jury, you're not able to get a jury in Utah that is not, these people are, it's like the Mormon Mafia. So, I mean, I don't have an answer as to what or how we go about to change this, but something has to change it because I'm not stopping. I'll go to Utah and sit there day in and day out. They have to know that every time they try to like clear something up or make it look like, oh, that wasn't it. I got him in an interview saying, oh, but the FBI took like, maybe it wasn't him, but they took so much part of the turf as evidence. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And they auctioned off that truck as quick as they could and had somebody come out and pave over the crime scene like nothing to see here, guys. They seen to it that, and it could go as far in to going all the way to Tennessee too, with the plant explosion. But Tyler is the one that, I mean, he's all over social media. All his people around him suspect in stealing money and have LLCs out the wazoo, and he just decided, hey, things look a little funky. I'd like to look into this. And then he's telling BB no, and the last person that told BB no, JFK. And then Charlie told him no. No. And apparently you just can't tell BB no. Or this is the end result. And it makes, yeah, you definitely got to think, what? Whole getting rid of the, yeah. No, Bill, you can't. Because if you talk to the FBI says it's not an FBI case. Strangely. but it was auctioned off with the quickness. And then the weird planes coming in and out and all of that. I would like to point out that Jeb Jacoby's father is a commercial pilot. I mean, can we get, we can't talk to Barron because Barron, even though he's a lawyer, he can't talk law on his podcast, but surely there's somebody, a prosecutor or somebody that we can talk to or get a hold of and find out the legality of the majority of this. Oh, really? I have to go check it out. All of this is so disturbing. And Drifta, did you catch the video that was shared by Ian? Because if not, it's a must-see. It's very disturbing. And Big Brother, I'll figure out a way I'll have daughter send you the video so that you can watch it. Daughter, can you figure out a way to send that to Uncle? I suspect she has muted me. Good. I don't know, it's on X. Awesome, thank you. I mean, it's true. I don't understand why somebody hasn't already done that. Let's just be real. I mean, he's the bully. The president apparently doesn't even agree with him. He should be sitting in jail. He has criminal charges pending against him. And he just keeps creating one war right after another because they can't arrest him as long as that's happening. And then, our super wonderful president, in my opinion, allegedly, pardons him. How do you pardon somebody in another country? Who are you? It is creepy. I mean, Israel has some serious influence going on in America. They have infiltrated just about everything that they can, and they want to, and they need to. They feel that they have to. And I'm just now waking up to the fact that they were part of 9/11. I had no idea. I was so ignorant to that. I was so ignorant to it. I bought into every bit of that mainstream bullshit of the Muslims are terrorists. Yeah. Really? Oh, that should be an interesting see then, because Nick be going off like crazy. Oh, I hope so. If not, somebody surely has caught it or captured it or posted it to X or somewhere else. Gotta find it. I have to check that out. This is I mean, we're currently in, oh my bad, I can't even say war because they don't even label it a war. What do you call something that's not a war when you're blowing shit up? What is that called exactly? Yes. Aw. They want everybody. It's not just us. I wholeheartedly. So my bad if I didn't mention you because I didn't know where you were from. 100%. They are definitely. They want everybody. They want us all to bend a knee, and they want complete control over every bit of social media, mainstream media, health, and they're little by little getting it. And all they have to do is come over and scare the hell out of people and tell them this is what's happening and make bad things happen in front of them that scares them even more. And then they're like, oh my God, the bad Muslims. Hmm. Plugged in like Tucker plugged in or yeah, definitely. Oh God, yes. I I will take a YouTube content creator words over the mainstream media any day. It's all the media is owned by Israel. I shit you not. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know I heard something about he was trying to get out of there right now and trying to make it over to another country, and Australia and everybody has stood together and is like, he's not coming into our space. It ain't happening. But yeah, he's a bully. He is a bully. This is one dude, and he's had us convinced all these years that it's the Muslims and it's, it's Pakistan, it's Afghanistan, it's Iran, it's Iraq, it's this. I mean, it's one thing right after another. And come on, US, come on, all of you, we gotta take care of this and get rid of them. And even down to the mass shootings here. And that's how they scare us. I mean, I'm not quite sure how they do it to y'all over there in Australia, but hopefully your government's stronger than ours. No, it's definitely not one dude. But he is an evil dude. Oh, it's the whole club. The whole club. I don't want to say it. I'm not monetized anyway, so the Masons. It's the Freemasons, the cabal. It is all the sick rich people that are snatching our kids and doing all the wrong shit. And that's another thing, they've infiltrated our schools. Yes, the elites. They're in our schools. They want our history changed. They want it told so that our kids, grow up wanting to bend a knee to Israel. Israel is meant to be the ultimate power and run everything. And if we keep letting things go the way that it is, that's what's going to happen. Whoever thought it was okay to let them do FAR requests and outright say that they're doing a campaign to target our churches and our schools and our kids and the colleges and send out the propaganda, it's bullshit. Yeah. I don't understand why they can't just be happy with the power and money that they have, because I swear to God, like, Israel is paying so many people to put up all the raunchy ass text or posts that they're doing, and they can say that they're not, but they are. $7,000 per post. People are getting to slam Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson and Laura Loomer in particular. Ugh. I ride her ass on X so bad, but she also rides Tucker's ass really bad. It's so annoying. Tucker is the most kindest. Okay, I'm not dumb. Tucker's dad was a CIA agent, but I think Tucker has nothing but good intentions for this country and the people, and it's always in the forefront of his head is the concern and the way that it's ran. And she is always on there slamming him and his brother. And it's all I can tell her is, if they're paying $7,000 per post, she posts all day, every day, nonstop. Hopefully they go broke. Tucker's a good dude. He's a really good dude. And super smart. Did you see that he went over to Israel and met with the U.S. ambassador? Yeah, because they should. And that's another part that worries me is they find Tucker and the same thing happens. I mean, quite frankly, I was surprised Tucker went over Israel like he did and met with Mike Huckabee. I thought that was crazy. They were messing with him before he even left, and he still got on a plane and went, and they held up their passports and played games. They had to meet at an airport. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's a U.S. ambassador. He did. Hell yeah. Yes. Yep. Not if you let Huckabee tell it, though. Yeah. Huckabee does not work for the U.S. He works for Israel. 100%. How does Australia feel about what's happening in Iran? I mean, I can only imagine the majority of the United States doesn't support anything that's happening right now. Thus the propaganda and one shit show after another. The United States government way of dealing with anything when they're in the hot seat is to create another scenario where people are like, oh my God, look over there. Another mass shooting. It is, yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming that it's not considered an actual war here until their boots on the ground. Would that be right, Bill? Because even though Iran or Israel is calling it a war, the U.S. is saying that it is not a war, that it's whatever they're calling it, but I don't think it's considered a war. Yeah, I would believe that. Strikes, yeah, but not considered a war. I mean, they're bombing the hell out of them and striking the hell out of them and, aiming for, schools and... I mean, look, they took out the Ayatollah really quick. But it's not war. This is just normal. Kind of like Gaza. Let's just be real. They ethnically cleansed Gaza. That's what they did. This is just, it's wrong. People are dying for no reason. They were no threat to us. And they keep trying to say it. How many more people have to die? How many more kids? How many more of our soldiers that are over there for no reason? Our soldiers don't even want to go. It's sad. Right. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you can just stay over in a country battling for years on end and it's not considered a war. Yeah. Gotta love that word salad. Meanwhile, we currently have the president of Venezuela in our jail system. For what? Well, you just go in and take people out of their homes and bring them over to the US and house them? I mean, they act like because even if he was smuggling drugs or weapons, it's nothing that the US doesn't do. The CIA. And the CIA operating on our own territory here it's bullshit. And they will find whatever reason and excuse they can to bypass that. And didn't Congress just try to go in and vote and it was shut down? They're not allowed to? Right. Which is what they did. I mean, because you don't send that many people posted up, and that's just what we've seen when shit popped off. They already had a buttload of people already sent over there. Yeah. Well, I hope that old DJ here in the White House stays alive long enough for us to throw it in his face that Charlie tried to warn him. It's so you can't make to think he literally talked him out of this a year ago. He was so proud of it. Talked him out of it. Which pissed BB off. And then as soon as they got him out of here, that was 6 trips to the White House later. And we're all in. I mean, I can do FOIAs. I'm pretty good at FOIA requesting. I don't know if we're gonna get the truth, but I could definitely put one in. Only imagine. But I don't think we're gonna get true facts. The military isn't like it used to be. I don't know. If you watch Valhalla, does anybody watch Valhalla? He's a Green Beret. or used to be. I guess once a Green Beret, always a Green Beret, but no longer active. Like, I feel like he believes, and I actually think he's starting to see, he fought for this country. And he fought for what he believed was the shit that they ran. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely concerning. Definitely. They're even trying to get into Cuba. It's not gonna it's just not gonna be good enough until they have complete control over everything. And it's no coincidence, or just the weird creepy shit. Cash Patel up there saying, "I'll see you in Valhalla, brother." Yeah. Okay, like we don't know Valhalla is in New Zealand, where your new FBI. Yeah, I don't know. And then Dan Bongino, I think he still works for the FBI, and his sole purpose is to get online and do what he's doing. Sometimes I wonder about him. Like, he's every single day. Today is March whatever, and Donald Trump is the president of the United States. It's like, bro, are you trying to remind yourself or convince us? No. But I will definitely look into trying to do the FOIA on some of that. I don't know how, but I don't know how. I don't know that we'll get accurate information. Just because, they make up whatever they want. Just the bottom line, they make up whatever they want. Absolutely. That's true. I don't know what does that mean? Is Marshall's Witsec? I don't know what you mean. Big brother, when are you gonna come see me? Of course, yeah. That's what Bill was just saying. There hasn't been a war since whatever he said up there. Yeah. And And then you have all the Congress people out here pissed off that can't do anything about it because, President just jumps the gun and is able to do what he did. Ah. I think it's safe to say that there's a Marshal presence, there's a FBI present, there's CIA. all three Congress people. What do you guys think about Kristi Noem? Not you firing Kristi Noem and then putting the ass hat in her spot that they picked for her spot. How many more people are you going to put in place that are just going to get up there and outright say, you can't say bad things about Israel. Nobody's saying anything bad about Israel. We just don't want Israel running our country. Thank you. Move along. What is T? Bill, you talking code and I'm a chick. I'm not in the bro code. And hi, Pope Place. It's nice having you in here. Did anybody Ian Carroll fans here? Because he took Webb down and is putting all the 9/11 files in where you'll be able to go in and get all the information that is available. And I would like mad props to Ian because Ian is spending astronomical amounts of his own money to do what he did with the Epstein files and Webb and now 9/11. And also it's available for you to put your own data sets into. He said, I think it's supposed to be back up tomorrow. Which if you don't watch Ian Carroll, you should go watch Ian Carroll because as soon as Webb is back up, he's going to start digging into those 9/11 files. He's super smart. He's a super smart dude. And the police radio saying there was Marshal presence in Utah. I don't know how that would be even remotely surprising. They're all there. They quite literally recruit everybody out of that UVU to be CIA or whatever. I was going to go to Utah just to be nosy, but Yeah, I have second guessed that. Like, I don't know that I want to. Those are some straight Mormon mafia people there. But yeah, I don't know. I am gonna go to Tyler Robinson's trial though, but I'm not nosing around there. No, I am going to Arizona though, and I am gonna nose around Arizona because Arizona's got a lot of freaky, weird shit going on out of there. I got you. So who's in Witsec? No, it's not Lance. He's in Texas. That's all right. I hit typos without even having an excuse like eating or anything. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to get to Arizona. Wanted to be there this coming week, but it doesn't. I don't know. Like I'm gonna be able to make it this week. I got too much going on, but I'm going by all them addresses of all of them LLCs. I'm going by all their addresses. I'm going by all them LLCs that own independent group homes that children are in and being killed and said to be runaways and then, killed by some outsider. Not the pervy guys that are there taking advantage and abusing kids that are already in the system. So yeah, that is going to be my next thing. I'm going to always keep Charlie Kirk right up here because it has to stay right up here. But I am going to tackle Arizona and all the weird shit happening with the kids there. Unreal. Let me look. Are you fucking with me? You're taking a lap or a nap? Bill, I'm starting to wonder if you need a nap. So, guys, that is all I have. And did the time change screw everybody up? Hate the time change. Takes forever to get used to it. And then because I bounced from here back to Tennessee. Tennessee's an hour behind us here. So if I go home to Tennessee, I'll be back on the same time again. Ugh. But that is it. That's all I got, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday night. And if you haven't, go check out that video from Ian. Yeah. It's rough. Especially when it's losing the hour. I think that makes it way harder. Way harder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'll be back tomorrow. And if you haven't, like and subscribe, share, turn on notifications. Good old Rocky Top. It's hot as hell in Texas. So good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.